Alright, Mach Rider, another programmable game. Well, that's pretty generic. You can select from two different courses, A or B, which gives a nice variety and some replay value. Oh, I am Mach Rider. As the Mach Rider, who happens to be dressed in a football helmet and shoulder guards, the object is to make it to the end of the course without losing all your energy. You do that by crashing and by getting smashed by these hybrid-looking dune buggies. The gameplay is a little uneven. You control your Mach Rider alright. You shoot, you steer, you shift between 4 gears. You have to avoid the puddles, oil slicks, and enemies, either by shooting them or going around them. Now you have a rear view mirror to let you know when enemies are approaching, but even so, it's very hard to avoid them hitting you from behind. Whoa, look at that explosion. Alright, design option. Here we can create our own course. Okay, we'll do a little twisty goo type turn here. Alright, I'm just gonna... Okay, that's a weird spot for that. I shouldn't have put that there. Okay, I'm obviously horrible at this. Yeah... Golf. The only title in the barely qualifies as a sport series. There's not a whole lot going on here. You have your standard 18-hole course, you select your club, direction of the shot, and then you swing away. And yes, that's Mario looking a little overweight. Apparently there must be an off-season in the Mushroom Kingdom. Now I'm not a golf expert, so it would have been helpful if the game provided you with some sort of hint of what club to use in each situation, or at least how far you could theoretically hit with each club. But no, that doesn't happen here. The putting in this game is very strange. You have arrows that mark the slide of the hill on the green, but it's very difficult to know how hard to actually putt the ball. Using even a minimal bit of effort sometimes sends the ball flying on the putting green. Look at this. There's no music at all in this game, and there's not much in the way of sound effects. If you're terrible at this game like I am, most of the time you'll only hear sounds when you drive the ball into the bunker, out of bounds, or the water. You can almost hear that sound telling you, please shut this game off and stop playing. Did you know that the game of golf originated back in Scotland in the 1100s? And did you also know that golf backwards is flog? Come on, give me a break. I'm just trying to keep this even a little bit interesting. Ice Climber, part of the Action series. Like other black box games, you can select your starting level. Pretty cool option. So it's Ice Climber and you're an Eskimo with a giant mallet, and you're not really climbing ice as much as you are smashing colored blocks and then jumping on top of them. The enemies are PETA's worst nightmare. You have exotic birds, as well as little baby seals that you smash over the head. Give me that skin. Your character jumps very high but barely to one side, so you really have to be very accurate with the jumps. Your jumps have to be really on target. You'll even fall through sides of platforms that you think you've successfully landed on. Now for some reason there are eggplants you get for bonus points. Between this, the eggplants in Wrecking Crew, and the eggplant wizard in Kid Icarus, obviously someone had a fetish. And for some reason I have to jump and grab the ice pterodactyl. Ice Climber is one of those games everyone has heard of, but it isn't on anyone's top 10 list for a reason. It's a fun but forgettable diversion.
Time for Excitebike. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure excited. Oh, kill me.
Long before the X Games, and when the only person you knew who owned a dirt bike was your neighborhood's juvenile delinquent, there was Excitebike. Excitebike is a nice motocross game that's pretty challenging. What makes Excitebike so cool? You can pop wheelies, you can crash, you can take your opponents out, and you gotta beat the time. It's fun. There are 5 different tracks in Excitebike, which gives you a little bit of variety. Not a fan of the snot green color of the course, but that's okay. You can rev your engine to go faster, but if your temperature overheats, you're gonna have to pause for a few seconds while it cools down. The tracks are actually challenging, especially when all of the stupid other riders get in your way. Excitebike is actually part of the programmable series and not the sports series, and that's because you can design and save your own course. But the problem with creating your own tracks is that if you save them, they're gone once you shut off the system because Excitebike does not have a battery backup. I have to admit, I'm pretty good at designing these, so let's give it a whirl. Okay, here we go. And just have to warm up a little bit. Although it appears simple, Excitebike stands out uniquely as an original classic. Woohoo! Pinball for the NES displayed in nice pink bubblegum letters. The one good thing about Pinball is that it's actually a two-tiered play field with an upper and lower area. You can hit the ball up and down between them, which adds at least a little bit of variety. It's a pretty dull experience for a couple of reasons. The colors are beyond drab. You have ugly blues, ugly pinks, and ugly yellows, and the layout isn't the most imaginative. In particular, the 3 bumpers on the bottom playfield are very annoying, since not many balls you hit will actually get through and actually go anywhere. They'll just bounce around and back. Look here. Ball hits the bumpers, bounces around, gone. Yes, there's penguins. Yes, there's seals. Yes, there's chicks. But where's the fun? The only thing interesting about Pinball is the bonus stage, which you access by hitting the top right hole in the bottom playfield. Here, you control Mario and score points to rescue Pauline, who drops from above. This is especially noteworthy because this is the first time Mario appears in a game that has nothing to do with him. But wait, that's not Pauline. Pauline has blonde hair. That's a brunette. Mario can't be a man whore, can he? TenYard Fight, the first football game on the NES. First you select your level, you have a bunch here. We're going to go with college. Here's a little bit of inaccuracy. There's supposed to be 11 players on the field for each team, not 9. On the field you really only have 2 plays. You could either pass it to your running back, or throw it straight up. Or, as a combo, pass it to your running back, then throw it straight up on a flea flicker. The computer's defense is decent enough, even though you can trick them pretty easily. One of the annoying things is the time it takes for your man to move across your line of scrimmage when he's in motion. Alright, almost there. Almost there. Playing defense is a little strange in TenYard Fight. On the bright side, they give you a choice between 2 defenders. Then again, they only give you a choice between 2 defenders. Unlike baseball, TenYard Fight is actually playable, and it's much closer to the actual sports experience. Whoa! That guy just slid out of the screen. Let's see that one more time on instant replay. Donkey Kong Jr. Math, the sole title in the education series, thankfully. So what do you do in Donkey Kong Jr. Math? Well, the idea is to use your basic arithmetic skills to end up getting the total that Donkey Kong holds in the middle of the screen. You do that by jumping around and climbing the vines to select the proper numbers and the arithmetic sign that you want. It's as exciting as it sounds.
Donkey Kong Jr. Math is just a bad game, both conceptually and gameplay-wise. It's hard to put together the numbers you need for your answer, and just a bad idea. I mean, kids at that time didn't really want to play Donkey Kong Jr. Math.
Donkey Kong Jr., what were you thinking? Super Mario Brothers. I'm not too familiar with this one. It's a sequel to Mario Brothers, and also the top-selling video game of all time. Although not the first, Super Mario Brothers helped put the side-scrolling platform genre on the map. And I can still hit that one up every time. An epic game with great power-ups, great enemies, and the first Nintendo game to have an outstanding soundtrack. Goombas, Koopa Troopas, Bullet Bill, good old Beetle Bailey, plants that bite your ass. This game had it all. This game not only helped Nintendo dominate the video game world for the next 15 years, it helped save the US home video game market. Wait, what? Ichiban! Ah, that's better.
So that's the end for part 1. Part 2 is going to be coming soon, and I hope you're on the lookout for it. And I hope you're having almost as much fun watching this as I am doing it, or something.